Hello and welcome back to Dr. Debt Free. In today's video, we are doing our March budget with me using my Budget by Paycheck Workbook by The Budget Mom. Super excited, love setting my next monthly budget. And I'm also really proud with how things went for the month of February. So if you're new to this channel, my name is Jess and I am a chiropractor up here in Canada, working on paying off my 6-figure student debt. Now for the month of March, I'm budgeting and expecting to get an income of about $6,500. But that is just an estimation. I won't know really until we get closer to the paydays. My pay structure actually is changing in the month of March and then a little bit more in the month of April. Right now, I am an independent contractor. So technically I'm self-employed, even though I work for somebody's clinic. And for the last couple of years that I have been working, I've been getting paid based on billing. So what that means is that I get paid for the service, whether they collect the amount from the patient's insurance or not. As of March, our clinic is switching to collections. So I will only be paid once insurance plans or patients pay for their service. So it's okay for the clinic, definitely a better idea, especially as our clinic has grown, but it's going to be a little bit of a change for my pay, and I expect my first couple of pays over the month of March and April to be a little bit lower than normal. So we're budgeting based on $6,500, starting out with groceries. For the month of March, I'm gonna budget $300. And this is groceries for me and my partner. So just the two of us in our house. Next we have gas. Now I drive half an hour to work and half an hour home from work. And I know gas prices have been a little crazy up here in Canada, and I expect they've been a little crazy down in the States as well. So for the month of March, I've budgeted $200. For eating out, if you've watched my low spend video for 2022, you know that this is one of the categories that I'm really focusing on spending less money in. But I'm starting to realize that because I have so much debt, this is a marathon. It is not a sprint. I think it's important to budget a little bit of fun in. And for my partner and I, we go to work, we come home, we walk our dog. Eating out or having a meal out every once in a while is part of the way that we like to have fun. So for the month of March, I've budgeted $100. Okay, for this next category, this is pet. This is a category that we have for our dog who is officially 1 year old. This is for his food and any supplies that he may need for the month of March, which we've budgeted $200 for. And the reason we've budgeted a little bit more this month is because I actually just finished reading a book. I'll link it down below. It's called The Forever Dog. It's a newer book, and it's all about the updated research behind veterinary medicine and feeding our dogs. And it's got me on this health kick, basically, for my dog. I want to make sure that he's getting the best nutrition that he can get so he can live with us for pretty much as long as possible. So we're actually getting him set up this month with a animal nutritionist. So I'm very excited to see the changes that we can make for his diet. That way he can live a healthier and happier and hopefully longer life as well. Now this next category is OSAP, and this is basically government student loan debt that I have here in Canada. And right now I'm only making minimum payments on my government student loans because they are in forbearance and they're at 0% interest. The nice thing about this is any payment that I do make to it, because it is at 0% interest, is going right to the principal. So it's nice to still see that the student loan debt is going down, even though it is only $200 per month. The next category is my professional line of credit, which if you've seen my debt confession or any of my other previous videos, you know that this is the big mama debt that I'm really focusing on for 2022. Right now, not only is this my biggest debt, but it's actually my debt with the highest interest. So with interest rates potentially going up this year and next, I really want to get this down. That way I won't be paying $500, $600 in interest in the coming months or years. So this month I've set a goal of putting $1,200 towards this debt. So we'll see what happens. If I do end up taking home any extra income over and above the $6,500, it will be split between my line of credit and my tax savings. Next debt I have is my car debt, which right now I'm also just paying a minimum payment. And this minimum payment is actually going to my dad who bought out my car loan for me. So I'm also paying 0% interest on this debt. Everything that I put towards my car debt is going straight towards principal, which we've agreed upon a minimum payment of $428.03 per month. This next category is my tax-free savings account, which I have invested in mutual funds. And it's not a huge focus for 2022, but I don't want to forget about it because I think if I were to wait until I was completely debt-free to start investing, I'd be well into my 30s, and I don't want to wait that long. I think you can do both. Even though this is on the back burner, I will still be contributing $100 to investments this month. And this is coming out automatically on a bi-weekly basis, $50 on a bi-weekly basis. So set it and forget it. Super easy to do, even though it's not a huge contribution. I like that I'm still contributing something. For taxes, this is for my 2021 tax sinking fund that I'm working on catching up on before we have to pay our annual taxes in May. So my goal this month, I've budgeted $2,400, but if I make anything over that $6,500, it's going right to taxes, then a little bit to the line of credit because we're playing catch up here. I don't want to mess around with my taxes. The next category is gym. We did switch over at the start of the year from our expensive boutique gym to a very, very cheap gym here in Canada, and it's saved us over almost $250 a month each. For the both of us, I've budgeted $27.08 for the month of March. Now my phone bill, I pay $56.50 per month for this. Utilities, this is for our apartment that we rent here in Ontario, and it includes our hydro bill as well as our internet bill. We've been in our apartment now for almost a year, so I did have to switch over our internet bill. I tried to get a deal with our internet service provider, and they were able to set us up with something that was a little bit more expensive, but not too bad. This month, I will be paying for a bit of the overlap fee from the previous month as well. So for the month of March, I have budgeted $135. And for our hydro, we've actually been saving quite a bit on heat this year, despite it being a decently cold winter here, because we haven't really had to turn our heat on much. We've kept our windows closed, and Honestly, our apartment's been staying pretty warm just with the heat from the apartments beside us, above us, below us. The only time we did have to turn on the heat a little bit is we did get COVID towards the middle of February. It was a little bit cold in here with us both having fevers and such. So we turned it on for a few days there, but nothing other than that. This next category is car insurance, which I've also switched recently, and I've actually added my boyfriend onto my policy. So for the month of March, this is including our tenant insurance as well. I'm expecting to be paying $220 for my insurance, my partner's secondary insurance, and our tenant insurance. So not too shabby at all. Manulife, this includes my life insurance, critical illness insurance, and disability insurance. And this is something that's also changed last month and will be changing a little bit in the future month as well. I've increased what I'm covered for in the last couple of months, so I will be paying a little bit more than I have been. But for this, I've budgeted $250 for the month of March. License fees, this is what I pay to practice as a chiropractor here in Ontario and in Canada. Some of these fees I've paid already as an annual fee, but I do have monthly fees that I have to pay each month as well, which I budget $208.31 for. CE, this is continuing education. So the nice thing about this category is that it is used as a business expense when it comes to tax season. So right now I am budgeting $29 for the month of March. I am in sort of like this monthly membership as part of me being a prenatal, postnatal chiropractor here in Canada. It's a group that I really, really love to be a part of and to stay updated on the research. So to me, that $29 is totally worth it. Costco and pharmacy is the next category. So periodically we'll go to Costco to buy our meats in bulk, or we'll go there to get toilet paper, paper towel, Kleenex, sometimes cleaning supplies. So that's what this is for, as well as the pharmacy. So any like over the counter or I guess like medications we may need, or feminine hygiene products, deodorant, toothpaste, things like that. That's what this includes. I budget $100 for the month of March. For personal, this month, your girl's been going on strong. I haven't had my eyebrows done since Christmas, so it is time. I also need to get a haircut this month because it's starting to look a little ratty, so I've budgeted $100 for the month of March for this. Apple and Amazon, this includes any subscriptions that I have with my phone or any items that we may need from Amazon. For the month of March, I've budgeted $100 there as well. Credit card payments, that is $0. Fees and interest, I've budgeted $50 for the month of March. And then other, I have budgeted $96.08. And that's just what I have left over from these categories. So yeah, so that is my budget for the categories for March. I do have a few goals for this month. One of them being, I do want to see if I can get over $11,000 in my tax savings sinking fund. If I can do that and I happen to make over $6,500, I have a stretch goal of hitting $12,000 in that sinking fund. So fingers crossed, hoping we can do it. I'm gonna work hard. The other goal I have is I would like to contribute over 60% of my income this month towards either debt payoff or my tax savings. So 60%, whether it is the $6,500 or more than that, I think that's a great goal to try to hit. So let me know in the comment section down below, what goal do you have for the month of March? What is your major focus? I hope this month brings you lots of abundance and just lots of blessings. I think one thing I've realized is that we need to start treating ourselves with love and really believing in ourselves. One of the things I always tell my patients in clinic is that you can't ever forget how capable you are and how capable your body is. And I think the same thing really applies to us when we're paying off debt, we're working on financial goals. Oftentimes we get this imposter syndrome and we really doubt ourselves. And that can really become a mindset block and stop us from really reaching our full potential. So this month, I want you to remember, don't you forget how capable you are. Set those goals and go out and get them. Happy March.